was struck by Melania's statement. She says,
oh yeah.
Do not do,
Don't do
just don't do.
no, I can't do
Okay, no, we know. That's why we're telling you don't do it.
Worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights.
Her mouth was so foul, she was so filthy dirty, disgusting, half the place left. I said I'd never hire her again.
I have a personal legal note.
Yes.
Donald Trump, I want to thank you for personally telling so many lies and committing so many alleged crimes.
What if a single sentence on live television could unravel an image so carefully built over decades? Sunny Hostin just did that to Donald Trump. Her marriage bomb hit harder than anyone expected, and his frantic response speaks louder than words. But what exactly did she say, and why is everyone, including Melania, silent about it? Let's uncover the shocking truth behind this pivotal moment. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. It wasn't a fiery speech or a scandalous revelation, just one calm, calculated sentence. Yet, that's all it took for Sunny Hostin to shake Donald Trump's world on live TV. What makes this moment even more unexpected is that it came from someone who knows how to hit where it hurts without ever raising her voice. Hostin, as a key figure on The View, has built a reputation for cutting straight to the core with her commentary. She's not just another TV personality throwing out hot takes. Her background as a former prosecutor brings precision to her words, making her observations almost surgical. That's exactly what happened when she decided to hone in on Trump's marriage.
She was in Slovenia doing nothing. I don't know what she was doing there. What was she doing there?
I think she was working as a model.
Okay, she was a model. Now she's the first lady.
I think the other one asking the question is dumber than Kamala, so she's a dummy. I watched her over the years. That is one dumb woman.
Prosecutor and legal expert can become a fixture on a show like this. And again, I'm so grateful. I was also recognized with a Special Achievement Award by the Department of Justice. You remember the Department of Justice, right? It's the agency that's been pursuing you for decades.
Trump, despite a string of scandals and chaos over the years, has always relied on a carefully crafted image. He's the tough, untouchable businessman, the big, loud guy in the room who always wins. And hanging just over his shoulder is the picture-perfect marriage with Melania, a dynamic he's carefully presented as steady, unwavering. But as with any image, even a slight crack can ripple outward, and Hostin didn't need dramatic accusations to shake it. All it took was suggesting, in her calm and deliberate way, that the cracks in Trump's marriage might already be showing.
She says, people with no names are writing our nation's history. Words are important, and accusations can lead to severe consequences.
I watched that stupid View where you have these really dumb people. You know, Whoopi Goldberg said, would you participate in a movie? She made some movie on basketball.
You help us do our jobs, and I'm so appreciative.
He's now injecting a fresh element into a strained bilateral relationship that already exists between the United States and Canada.
The sentence landed so smoothly that you could almost miss it. Hostin said something along the lines of, "It doesn't look like Melania's been particularly enthusiastic about standing by her husband in recent months." Her delivery was effortless, almost casual. Yet the room went eerily quiet, just for a moment, before murmurs rippled through the audience. Viewers watching live immediately picked up on what had just happened. Some leaned in, others widened their eyes. What seemed like an offhand comment carried a ton of unspoken weight. After all, when someone like Hostin makes a statement, you know it's backed by sharp observation. Her tone didn't suggest gossip, it suggested insight. And why did this one comment feel so potent? Hostin indirectly poked at Trump's so-called strongman act. The foundation of this persona isn't just about dominance in politics or deals. It's also about projecting the image of a solid, supportive home life. A loyal wife, a happy family, all tied up in a bow. Hostin's words made people question whether all of that was a facade.
I'm profoundly disturbed. I was so hopeful that a mixed-race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country.
Talking a lot more about this, but of course we know Canada is one of the largest U.S. trading partners and the latest in a series of countries that have received a letter from President Trump.
I've had a history of prosecuting sex offenders. So thank you for keeping people like us in business.
I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
The perception that nothing rattles Trump is a big part of his brand, and a suddenly shaky marriage undermines that entirely. But this wasn't just another TV moment destined to fade away. The real chaos began after the cameras stopped rolling. Trump's team scrambled into defense mode, trying to sweep it under the rug. Meanwhile, Melania's silence screamed louder than any soundbite ever could. It was clear Hostin's comment wasn't just speculation. It was a calculated jab that exposed a vulnerability Trump has always tried to bury. So, how did Trump respond to it? And why did his reaction only make things worse? That's where things really get messy. If words can cut, Sunny Hostin's comment was a scalpel. And Trump's reaction? Pure panic. It wasn't immediate silence or measured indifference. No, Trump's response came in the form of frantic all-caps social media posts, peppered with Bible quotes wildly out of context and overly enthusiastic declarations about loyalty and love. It was as if he thought shouting into the digital void could put a band-aid on what Hostin had just exposed. But instead of easing the speculation, these posts only made things worse, hinting at a sense of desperation that's rarely seen in his usual bluster.
I admit I may not have spent as much time in the courtroom as you have. I'll even give you a free View mug. Not to be confused, though, with the mugshot. Because that's your area.
The United States will impose a tariff of 35% on goods imported from Canada starting August 1st. This is all according to President Trump.
And as for dumb questions, you're always welcome to come here and answer some, if sitting so close to a prosecutor won't make you nervous.
What made this situation so different? Trump normally thrives on brushing off criticism with bravado or drowning it out with bigger headlines. He's no stranger to deflecting attacks with insults, nicknames, or outright denials. Yet, this time, his reaction seemed more rattled, almost panicked. What had Hostin's comment hit that others hadn't? Well, let's start with Melania. Rather, Melania's lack of response. While Trump rushed to tweet and boast about a picture-perfect marriage, his wife kept completely silent. No public comment, no strategically timed appearance holding hands, no forced laughter at some press event. Nothing. And here's where it got even SD.